A scientist walks out of a Massachusetts courthouse after asking a judge to protect his family from his own nephew. The judge refuses to extend the restraining order. Less than a minute later, court cameras show the scientist heading toward his car. His nephew walks into the parking lot. Then, according to prosecutors, the scientist accelerates. He pins the young man between two vehicles, steps out with a handgun, and fires repeatedly. Behind that moment was an affair, death threats, immigration fears, and a family conflict that had been building for years. Tonight, we're examining the case of Chenghai Xue and Cong Wang, and the courthouse hearing that ended in murder. Welcome to the podcast, You Can't Unhear. As usual, a disclaimer before we begin. Chenghai Xue pleaded not guilty. The description of the shooting comes from prosecutors, court surveillance, witness accounts, and his initial arraignment. Much of the elaborate family history now circulating on social media has not been independently documented. So this episode will separate verified court records from rumour. Chenghai Xue was 44 years old in April 2022. He had worked in statistics, biotechnology, and medical data research. Harvard University confirmed that he had served as a postdoctoral researcher there from December 2010 until June 2011. In court filings, Xue described his work as analysing cancer patient data to assist with diagnosis. Business records also connected him to several American and Chinese health technology companies. This background later became a major part of the public conversation. People described him as a brilliant scientist, a cancer researcher, or even someone whose work might save lives. But credentials do not explain what happened, and professional achievement does not reduce the seriousness of violence. Xue had married in China in 2006. The couple later settled in Massachusetts, had 2 children, and eventually divorced in 2019, citing an irretrievable breakdown of the marriage. During parts of the relationship, Xue travelled for work. At some point, his nephew Cong Wang came to the United States from China. Wang enrolled at Northeastern University and lived for a time within the extended family's orbit. He was young, far from home, and dependent on relatives as he adjusted to life in the United States. What happened next fractured the family. According to an Arlington police report included in later court filings, Xue's wife and Wang began a romantic relationship while Xue was temporarily living in China. The relationship reportedly continued until around July 2020. The wife later told police that the affair contributed to the collapse of her marriage. This detail has fueled enormous debate online. Some people describe Wang as a manipulative adult who betrayed his uncle. Others emphasize the age difference, his immigration status, and the fact that Xue's wife occupied a more established and powerful position. The surviving court material does not clearly establish who initiated the relationship. It does not justify reducing the case to one villain and one innocent party. What it does show is that the relationship ended badly. By August 2020, Xue's former wife had contacted police. She said she had repeatedly told Wang the relationship was over, but that he refused to accept the breakup. According to the report, Wang appeared at her house and church, continued contacting her, and made threats involving himself, Xue, and the rest of the family. One message attributed to Wang stated, "I will kill your family. If I don't kill your family, I will commit suicide." The wife also reportedly told police that Wang believed they needed to marry so he could remain in the United States and obtain permanent residency. These were allegations recorded in police and court documents. Wang never faced a criminal trial in which those claims were fully tested. The threats were serious enough that Xue sought a restraining order. Protective orders are intended to prevent contact, harassment, threats, or physical proximity when a judge believes someone faces a credible risk. But they are temporary legal barriers. They are not physical walls. They depend on compliance, enforcement, and evidence sufficient to satisfy the legal standard each time the order comes up for renewal. For roughly a year and a half, an order restricted Wang's contact with Xue and the family. Then came the hearing on April 7, 2022. Xue appeared at Cambridge District Court, which was operating from a courthouse building in Medford. He asked the judge to extend the restraining order. Wang attended with his own attorney and argued that the order was no longer necessary. According to reports, Wang told the judge that he had moved away, was living with friends from church, and wanted both sides to move on. The judge concluded that circumstances had improved enough that the legal requirements for extension had not been met. The request was denied. Wang's lawyer later said the judge had applied the law appropriately and thoughtfully. He described what happened afterward as a litigant taking the law into his own hands. The hearing ended late that afternoon. Court surveillance showed Wang and his lawyer leaving the building at approximately 4:46 p.m. Less than a minute later, Xue and the attorney who had represented him inside began walking in the same direction. Xue reportedly thanked his lawyer, said he would be fine, and headed toward his white Chevrolet Equinox. His attorney later said Xue did not openly express anger about the ruling. There was no dramatic confrontation inside the courtroom, no shouting, no visible warning of what was about to happen. Prosecutors say Xue entered the SUV, pulled out of the parking area, and drove toward the rear of the building. An eyewitness then saw the white vehicle strike a black SUV, pinning Wang between vehicles. Xue allegedly got out holding a black handgun. Witnesses reported 5 or 6 shots. Investigators later recovered approximately 10 shell casings from the area. Several shots struck Wang in the head. He died at the scene. This was not a hidden crime. It occurred outside a courthouse, with lawyers, security cameras, police officers, and other members of the public nearby. Xue's attorney heard the disturbance and ran outside. He saw his client near the firearm, approached carefully, and helped restrain him until officers took control. Police found Xue lying face down with his arms and legs extended. Blood was visible on his hands and hair. The firearm lay near Wang's body. The lawyer later described Xue as previously gentle, pleasant, and without a known history of violent behavior. He said the shooting was completely unexpected. That reaction helped create the public image that followed. A mild-mannered scientist suddenly transformed into an accused killer. Xue was arrested immediately. The following day, he appeared in Somerville District Court. A not guilty plea was entered on his behalf. He was charged with murder, along with an assault-related offence connected to using the vehicle. The judge ordered him held without bail. At that stage, prosecutors did not need to prove every motive. The sequence captured by witnesses and surveillance formed the foundation of the case. The hearing, the denial, the movement toward the parking lot, the vehicle strike, and the gunfire. Online audiences quickly constructed a much larger story. Some accounts portrayed Xue as a globally important artificial intelligence scientist working on surveillance, biometrics, or secret military technology. Others claimed his nephew and sister had spent years extorting him. that Wang demanded an arranged marriage for a green card, or that Xue's former wife fabricated threats to manipulate him. But I could not verify those claims through reliable court reporting or official records. There is also no verified connection between this killing and any supposed pattern of scientists disappearing or dying. Xue did not vanish. He was arrested at the scene. Cong Wang was not killed because of scientific work. The available evidence points to a deeply personal family conflict, not espionage, research sabotage, or an attempt to silence a scientist. Public sympathy for Xue has often focused on the restraining order. People ask, what was he supposed to do if someone had threatened his family? Why did the court remove the protection? Did the legal system fail him? Those questions are understandable, but they require care. A judge deciding not to extend an order is not authorizing future contact, harassment, or violence. It means the evidence presented that day did not satisfy the legal requirements for continued restriction. It also does not give the applicant permission to punish the other person. I hope even if every alleged threat from Wang was true. Xue was leaving a courthouse surrounded by legal professionals and police. There was no reported attack in progress when he entered his vehicle. The prosecution's account describes Xue driving toward Wang, striking him, then getting out and firing repeatedly. That sequence is difficult to reconcile with immediate self-defense. Fear may help explain someone's mental state. It does not automatically justify homicide. Cong Wang was 23. Most reporting identifies him primarily as Xue's nephew, the younger man involved with his aunt, or the subject of threatening messages. Whatever mistakes he made, whatever threats he may have sent, he never received the chance to answer the allegations at trial. The legal system had just decided the protective order should end. Minutes later, his uncle made a permanent decision of his own. Xue's children were also left inside the wreckage. Their parents' marriage had ended. Their father faced the possibility of spending the rest of his life in prison. Online discussion often speaks about the case as though it were a contest. Team Xue or Team Wang? The criminal case has attracted far less reliable public reporting than the viral retellings surrounding it. That gap has allowed speculation to grow faster than verified information. Any eventual trial would need to examine Xue's state of mind, the firearm, the vehicle, the surveillance footage, the restraining order history, and whether the prosecution can establish premeditation. It may also explore whether the defense argues diminished capacity, mental illness, or another explanation for the sudden violence. Until then, the responsible conclusion remains limited. Thanks for joining me tonight. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any updates, since the case is still developing. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast You Can't Unhear.